India, a wounded civilization. India is one of the oldest living civilizations on earth. Older than modern Europe. Older than Islam. Older than Christianity. And yet, India often behaves like a civilization unsure of itself. It speaks of greatness, but hesitates to lead. It celebrates its past, but doubts its relevance. Nobel Prize winning writer V.S. Naipaul described this condition with one powerful phrase. India is a wounded civilization. But what does that mean? Who wounded India? How deep is this wound? And most importantly, is India healing or still bleeding? So let's see what does wounded civilization means. A wounded civilization is not destroyed. It survives. It adapts. But it loses confidence in its own ideas. According to Naipaul, India did not collapse like Rome. It did something far more dangerous. It adjusted to domination. Over centuries, India learned how to live under others. By compromise, silence, and inward withdrawal. This saved society. But it damaged the civilizational spirit. India continued to exist, but stopped imagining itself as a creator of history. Now, let's see India before wound. Before invasions, India was not a weak society. It was a knowledge civilization. Universities like Nalanda and Takshashila attracted students from China, Central Asia, and Southeast Asia. Indian scholars debated astronomy, mathematics, medicine, metaphysics, and governance. India exported ideas, not armies. Buddhism spread peacefully across Asia. Indian numerals became the foundation of global mathematics. Indian philosophy shaped Asian thought for centuries. India did not need validation. It had civilizational confidence. That confidence was not lost naturally. It was broken historically. The first wound, invasions. The first deep wound came with repeated invasions. Temples were not only places of worship. They were centers of learning, economy, and culture. Their destruction meant loss of institutions, loss of memory, loss of continuity. Over time, Indian society stopped expanding intellectually and began focusing on survival. Creativity gave way to caution. Debate gave way to devotion. Adaptation became a habit. Naipaul makes an uncomfortable observation. India survived not by resistance, but by accommodation. Instead of reforming institutions, society adjusted internally. Caste became rigid. Social mobility declined. Innovation slowed. Adaptation saved civilization from extinction, but froze it in time. India learned how to endure history, but forgot how to shape it. India absorbed the invaders culturally, but never processed the trauma psychologically. The wound remained open. The second wound, British rule. If invasions wounded India's body, British rule wounded India's mind. The British did something unprecedented. They convinced Indians that their past was backward. Their knowledge was inferior. Their civilization needed correction. Through education, history writing, and administration, India was taught to see itself through European eyes. English became intelligence. Indian languages became inferior. Indian knowledge became superstition. The most damaging result was not economic exploitation. It was loss of self-belief. Independence without mental freedom. In 1947, India became politically free. But civilizationally, it remained confused. India kept colonial bureaucracy, colonial laws, colonial education, colonial validation systems. The rulers changed, but the framework remained. India governed itself, but continued to think like a former colony. According to Napol, this was independence without decolonization of the mind. Symptoms of a wounded civilization. Napol identified disturbing symptoms. Ritual without inquiry. Tradition without reform. Pride without responsibility. India often glorifies ancient past, avoids honest self-criticism, seeks approval from the West. Success feels real only when validated abroad. Failure is blamed on history, fate, or outsiders. This is not weakness. It is unhealed trauma. Is India healing today? In later years, even Napol noticed change. India began to rediscover its history, speak in its own civilizational voice, show confidence in global affairs. But healing is incomplete. True healing does not mean blind glorification. It requires honest history, cultural confidence, intellectual courage. A civilization heals when it remembers who it is and dares to reinvent itself. India was not destroyed. India was interrupted. A wounded civilization does not need sympathy. It needs memory, courage, and creativity. As Napol warned us, the greatest danger to India is not invasion, but forgetting itself. The future of India depends on one choice: to live with comforting myths, or to confront uncomfortable truths.